YouTube guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to my Should You Buy Modern Warfare 2 video. Now I want to take a quick look at the beta we got a couple weeks ago, take a look at my pros, my cons, to help people decide if Modern Warfare 2 is for them. Now without wasting too much of you people's times, let's get right into the video. Before we take a look at the negatives or the things that I hope get improved or fixed upon final release, we'll take a look at some of the things I liked about the beta. To start off my list of likes, and what may be considered a hot take to some people, is I actually really enjoyed the movement of the game. I felt as though it was very, very fluid, and even though it was slower than some people may like, I really felt as though the game felt very smooth in terms of mantling, and dolphin diving was a surprisingly very positive addition. I didn't think I was gonna use dolphin diving or like dolphin diving just because all my memories of it were from like Black Ops 2. But I used it quite a bit, especially in the second weekend, and I actually had a pretty good time doing so. A lot more fun than I thought doing it. It's definitely a very kind of niche movement system. I don't think you're gonna see dolphin dive canceling, which also I'm glad that slide canceling has been removed. Long story short, I really like where movement's at right now. Like I said, I feel as though it's very fluid. I like the mantling. I like the dolphin diving. I like that sliding, you have to commit to the slide rather than slide cancel. All in all, really enjoy the movement. Another thing that I very much enjoyed and appreciated was the map design. The map design in Modern Warfare 2 so far is astounding. All four maps, like them or hate them as an individual, are substantially better than anything we got, or well, almost anything we got in Modern Warfare 2019. I liked them more than a lot of the Black Ops Cold War maps, as well as a lot of the Vanguard maps. All in all, I really liked the map design that we got. I think it played very well. And while the movement and playstyle may not be the exact way everybody wants it, I felt like most playstyles were viable, especially with kind of how, you know, the way things are set up in regards to like Ghost and perks, and I'm sure we'll talk about that later. The maps flowed very nice for that. You know, while there was still camping, you weren't as rewarded for camping as much as like people complain about like Sentinel gameplay, which is, you know, kind of how I play the game, and that's how I've always played Call of Duty. I've always been kind of a methodical movement, hold down angles, rotate objective player, not really like a super slide cancel Y type guy. And I felt as though, I mean, a lot of people think the game is catered to that, and, you know, you're entitled to your opinion. But I feel like the maps played incredibly well, and I'm very excited for the other map offerings they have going forward. Another positive thing, and again, this may be controversial, I really liked the way Gunsmith was set up. Leveling up and earning things was a little bit on the weird side, and I'm under the impression that the customization and earn rate of things is not finalized whatsoever. I don't feel as though that's how we're going to be seeing things all year. I think there's going to be... I think they just wanted us to try and earn things in different ways, and kind of incentivize us to try all aspects of the beta, rather than just grind levels and do that. I think they wanted us to... They didn't add all these guns in the game for nothing, you know? They wanted you to have to use like the recon to get the Hurricane, or they wanted you to use the battle rifle to unlock the AR, to unlock the MP5. You know, they wanted us to use the game for its entirety, and I can appreciate that. But I don't think that's how the final game will unlock things. It's possible, but in my opinion, I don't think that's how fully that is going to be, and how that's going to function. But I mean, I think it'll just be a bit of a learning curve in terms of the Gunsmith. I mean, I felt as though it was, you know, it took a little bit of time to kind of understand, because I mean, as complex as this is in comparison to like a Pick-10 system, this is a bit simpler and makes a little bit more sense. But I'm very excited for the aspect, and I mean, we'll see if it functions well. But I mean, there was like 30 plus muzzles for the M4, all these different optics, all these different barrels, all these different under barrels. I think if each of them has an actual purpose and is actually usable, it's going to be a very fun thing. I loved that aspect of Modern Warfare 2019. I know I kind of have a love-hate relationship with this game. As I think as long as they properly utilize all the different attachments and make it to where there's a reason for having all of them, there's a reason for using them, rather than just look at how many attachments we put in the game, I think it's going to be a very positive thing and lead to just, you know, a ton of different customization and really catering to everybody's, you know, what they're looking for in customizing their weapons. Another positive thing, and I mean, it's not as, you know, crazy as the other things I've said so far, but I felt as though kill streaks were actually pretty fun to use. I really enjoyed, I didn't use a ton of them. I was mainly using like UAV, counter UAV, gunship. Not that I got any gunships, but, you know, and Predator missile. I didn't get a chance to use the Juggernaut. I didn't get a chance to use like the Wheelson and stuff. But from what I did use, I really enjoyed the kill streaks. They were a lot of fun. They remind me a lot of like Modern Warfare 2019 kill streaks. I hope that they do what they did kind of at the start of Vanguard and kind of at the start of Cold War, where they continue to add more kill streaks for us to use and kind of continue to expand that catalog or options as the year progresses. Just because obviously, you know, we as a Call of Duty community have kind of been spoiled in terms of just constant influx of content. And I'm going to continue to demand to be spoiled. So I definitely hope we get some more kill streaks. I think the kill streaks we have right now are good. They play really well and they're fun to use, and none of it really felt super duper crazy broken. I think I've had like 1 or 2 gunships called in on me, and I never felt as though like, oh great, the fucking game is over, we're not going to be able to leave our spawns. Albeit the maps did have a lot of interior play, so it's a bit more, it's a kind of a skewed perception. So we'll see on those maps that are wide open where there's nowhere to hide, and see if it plays the same way. But just from my initial impression there, I enjoyed it quite a bit. I think the Predator missile could maybe use a little bit of help. I think it's pretty slow upon rip, but I do and I think the mini map would benefit from being able to see the flight path. So, you know, if you're on defense or you're having it called in on you, you have a little bit of a chance to evade it rather than just like, oh, there's one inbound, and then it shows where it hit, and it's like, great, I wish I would have known to get inside if I missed the audio cue, or say the audio cue just doesn't play, that kind of deal. I think that could be tweaked. All in all, though, really enjoyed kill streaks for what they were. The game modes were something that I was very, very, very impressed with and had a great time with, and I was not expecting to. It felt like we got a couple kind of new search-esque modes in terms of single life tactical gameplay ones. That guy just sold so hard there. Prisoner rescue and the... Oof, that's tough, bud. The prisoner rescue and then knockout, which was the money one. The knockout was way more fun than I thought it was going to be. Very tense, kind of cat and mouse back and forth. The respawns of things also kind of spiced things up. Did he just collide us? No, he just got a double kill. But the game modes they added, the new game modes, very fun. I hope they continue to obviously add more. I know at a certain point you're kind of limited as to what game modes we've seen versus what we haven't seen, but in terms of what they offered in the beta, very excited. Obviously, we're going to be getting a few other things, I'm sure. I'm learning mouse and keyboard. I really like the visuals of the game. It keeps that realism, but I think it adds a very needed splash of color to make the world feel lived in, feel enjoyable to look at. It's not just these dark grays and blues and blacks and kind of just dreary. Obviously, it's war. I'm not expecting you to be rainbows and unicorns and good vibes and everything. I think all of the maps, even Museum, which was kind of your tans and, you know, whites and grays, big green grassy area, as well as the banners being red and having all these different artwork and stuff. I think that was very nice. I really like the visuals. It keeps that realism, but also is visually pleasing to look at. In terms of the negatives of the beta or things I hope get changed or some fixes and stuff, I'm gonna avoid the super duper, you know, obvious things that aren't going to get changed, right? I'm not going to talk about skill-based matchmaking. I think it's something we're just going to have to learn to live with. Mini-map pings, I don't think that's going to change. I think that's the way they want it for whatever reason. However, some things that I feel as though can still be redeemed. In regards to audio, I feel as though footsteps obviously need to get adjusted. I think they're way too loud. If you can't show us mini-map dots because you don't want us to get punished for shooting our guns, you should make it to where we can push people and not be punished for wanting to run and gun because people can hear our footsteps. But yeah, footsteps too loud. Turn them down a bit. Make it to where people can run around and take care of campers rather than just catering strictly to the super duper slow style of play there. The menu screen, I heard a rumor that Infinity Ward hired Hulu's former designers and stuff, and you could kind of get the streaming service vibe from how the menu worked. But in regards to general UI and stuff, the HUD was okay, didn't hate it, but when it comes to like trying to make parties and invite my friends and everything, it didn't work. I didn't like it at all. I mean, I appreciated it for what it was trying to do, but it didn't work. It was very clunky. When I would try to invite friends, I would send invitations to the wrong people, and it wasn't because I was misclicking. It would show Steven, I would click on Steven, and then Kyler's name would come up. Or I would, you know, it would show Luke, and I would click on Luke, and then Chris's name comes up, and it's like, well, Chris hasn't played Xbox in 2 months. Why the fuck would I send him an invite to play if he's not online? So I think the menu, obviously, it's a beta. I'm not going to harp on that too awful much, but I do feel as though that needs to be adjusted and changed a bit. I wasn't the biggest fan of how that functioned entirely there. And also, in terms of the menu screen, I was very confused. I always thought that my message of the day was up on my screen, and I would hit escape, and then all of a sudden I've closed app and I'm back at the desktop, and it's like, well, fuck, that's not what I meant to do. I just meant to close my messages of the day. I think that could use a little bit of a rework as well. The big thing that I think the developers in general might be getting confused, time to kill with weapon balancing. The time to kill of the game was very fast. There are certain times where you were dead 3 times over before I could even turn around. The fact that they 2-tap you with a pistol is kind of crazy. Obviously, it's a gun. You know, I doubt you could. I doubt I'm getting shot twice and just shaking that off. I'm not gonna, you know, pretend that. But time to kill is very fast. Do I try sniping? Maybe we try sniping. If you feel as though I missed anything in terms of like, I really like this, or I personally wasn't a big fan of scope cleanse, well, just let me know. Obviously, keep it positive down there. Doesn't need to be a war, but comments are much appreciated. But like I was saying, without like being a Call of Duty meat writer there, I do feel as though if time to kill is adjusted, that could be one of the things that makes this one of the better CODs that we've got. Another thing that I saw that I really didn't experience a whole lot of, but definitely is something that needs to change. I think that dead silence should not have an activation noise. That's stupid. It's dead silence. I shouldn't, you know, use dead silence and then I'm trying to be silent and now I'm being punished because now trying to be silent I have to make noise. Like, that doesn't make sense. I think it's smart that there is an activation time. I like that. Jesus Christ, that was nuts. A thing that I'm not sure if they're going to fix or not is the perk system. The perk system was a very interesting change. It was one of those changes that obviously wasn't like, didn't need to be made. It wasn't something that was like holding Call of Duty back. So it was a very odd change. So I'm intrigued to see if they will make a change. From the blog posts and from the tweets and from just kind of leaks and stuff, it seems as though their mindset is that we have a vision for what we want to put out and that's what we're going to put out. I didn't hate it. I thought it was interesting. I think it allows for you to kind of experiment with playstyles. I wish that there were perk variations. Say Ghost. I wish that there was there was a way to make a Ghost one you start with, Ghost be a tier 2, or Ghost to be an ultimate perk. I think that would be a very interesting dynamic. Say, you know, the ultimate version is you don't show up on mini maps and you don't show up on UAVs and everything. But like tier 1, you're not directional on advanced UAVs, but you still you show up on UAVs, or you show up on every other ping of a UAV. They have to be closer to see your pings on the map type-esque thing. A kind of tier system. I don't know if I'm explaining that very well, but I think that would be very interesting. I don't think that they'll do that, though. And ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for my Modern Warfare 2 beta review / pros and cons list. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like if you did. Share it with maybe somebody who's on the fence about picking up the game, and subscribe if you're new. We got that 24-hour stream coming October 27th. We're super duper duper close, though. Kind of in closing, though, the way that I've looked at it, if you like Modern Warfare 2019, I feel like you're really gonna like this game here. It takes what that game did right and gives actual quality map design, as well as some other quality of life changes, and I'm very, very excited, and I know the boys are too. So like I said, October 27th, it's somewhere on the screen here. We're going live for the 24-hour stream at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time in regards to the release of Modern Warfare 2, and I hope to see you there. But like I said earlier, though, like the video if you like the video, subscribe if you're new, stay safe, stay healthy, stay hydrated, and we'll see you in the next one.